Welcome, everyone. I'm Jude Hotep, the goddess astrologer and alchemical initiatrix, and this is the daily astrology, divine feminine uprising astrology. So I'm going to share the chart with you and show you what's going on. So today is this powerful Aquarius full moon that we've been moving towards all week. So much energy that we've had with the week starting out with a Venus Pluto opposition. So we've had this death energy going on all week and really feeling like the dead leaves and the need for organization, the need for clearing out and making space. Now, Venus today, before this new moon, moves into Leo. And so it's loving to love. It's very much just this divine feminine love and creation, enthusiasm and passion. And Venus and Leo loves to love. It's just all of that amazing energy of happiness and joy and enthusiasm, passion and light that's so natural and just bubbles up within so naturally, coming from that place. And that's what allows the creativity and the inspiration to flow and to release this hard work spell that's in the culture, that actually do what lights you up and to let yourself be called forward moment by moment by moment to the next step, to the next step. And when you put your in your soulpreneurship, when you have your systems in place and you went through all these phases, you're called to do your business minimums, you're called to do the things you need to do in your business to run a business, and yet it's all off workflow, not work hard. And so this grand cross we have in the chart with this full moon is this interesting make this better here, is this interesting component of this full moon. So there's this energy that we're pulled in all these directions. We're pulled to the past and what we're leaving behind, and some possibly some tangles that we need to release, that we need to understand how to let those surface up, to speak them out. So we need to speak out our emotions so that those tangles can unwire and unravel. And Saturn, the moon is conjunct, the full moon is conjunct Saturn in Aquarius about new ways of working, innovation, the new paradigm of work, the new paradigm of responsibility, commitment, of climbing the mountain, of doing that from passion, and of doing that from higher mind, from an elevated place, from higher frequency, higher consciousness. No longer doing this from this physical realm, but creating. Saturn is how we work in the world. It's our commitments. It's the driving force it's the determination to make things happen and complete projects. It's our career or work or sacred calling, all of that, right? So if Saturn is that, and it's an Aquarius, not only is it about humanity and doing something that is in service to all, not just service to self only. And it's this Leo moves into Aquarius, right? It's that access. And so it's like, Leo, like, how do I contribute? What do I have here that's unique and amazing and creative, this creative force from love, from passion, enthusiasm, that then goes into the Aquarius part of that axis, which is, that it's for the greater whole of advancing humanity forward. I heard someone talking about that we have too much convenience in this culture. We're addicted to convenience or something like that. And I just completely disagree. I think it's exactly a malignant masculine paradigm and view of life. It's part of that work hard spell that's in the culture that we have been shedding for the last 2 years particularly. But women have been waking up to, no, I need to work flow. I need to work for my feminine energy. I need to work for my inspiration, my passion, what lights me up, and from my own unique soul codes, and not from what other people say is the way to do it or the way to success, because it won't be your way to success. Guaranteed, somebody else's way will not be your way. And that can be confounding in the beginning when you're learning how to do this. And so what somebody was saying is part of that malignant masculine spell, right? Of like, we're just addicted to convenience and everything. Like people have had it much harder. I think there's something to understand what you gain by going through the challenges that you may go through in life, but it doesn't have to be hard. And there's nothing wrong with easy. Easy has been equated with wrong or bad. Like, don't take the easy way as if you're shortcutting. Easy has been equated with shortcuts. And really, easy is like flow and inspiration and coming from that love and coming from being pulled forward by joy moment to moment to moment. And so it's this Aquarius, this Saturn Aquarius is like coming from your vibe. What's a vibe match? Whether it's the task, the person, the situation, etc. What's a vibe match? What is how you feel? It's energy, vibration is what's moving you into aligned action. The actions where you climb the mountain and you do one thing after another. But very much in this Aquarian, from higher consciousness, from vibration, from flow, from that kind of out of the box. It's a different way of being in the world. And until you have experience with that, you may be trying to think it into place. You may be trying to figure out how to do it and to do a how, when really it's a letting it unfold. It's an unfoldment, it's a vibration, it's an energy. And so this is what we're called to do in this Aquarius moon. It's like the moon is the collective, the moon is our subconscious, the moon is this nurturing, mothering, divine feminine energy, right? But it's also an Aquarius about our voice. So, Aquarius is like speaking to the people. It's our voice in the world. It's humanity. It's being this higher frequency, higher vibrational being of light that understands the light, that kind of comes down to us like, what are people doing all around here? Like, what is this? War, distress, disturbance, revenge, and people just completely doing evil and all of these horrible atrocities. Like, what is this? These people need to wake up, right? And so it's this awakening. And so it's the awakening of our vibrational stance. It's an awakening of our feminine voice and our wild feminine voice, understanding how powerful, how important it is, how it's been missing for 5,000 years. One half of society has been missing. Yes, we've disseminated information through print and text. We've done a lot of good work. We're standing on the shoulders of giants, of women that came before us that have done so much in this world, but we haven't really. But it's like time for this next level. It's time to level up. It's time to get out there. It's time to realize that it's not about men and women. It's not about masculine and feminine. It's about the divine feminine. It's kind of in the spiritual war, not kind of, is in the spiritual war with the malignant masculine. It's not about being afraid. It's about being aware that women and the divine feminine moves all of humanity forward. So when we were in goddess cultures, when the goddess was revered and men and women lived in equality and fear was nearly eradicated and there was no use and need for weapons, we moved humanity forward. That's where indoor plumbing came. That's where technology advanced. So indoor plumbing, paved roads. We had I usually have my list off the top of my head, but we had so much art and so much of the things that we just are part of our normal everyday life of indoor plumbing and roads and paved roads and the way we live in houses and abodes and architecture. That all came from that period of time when we didn't have fear. And so people are always like, oh, you have to struggle, you have to have the contrast to learn. Like if you didn't have it's not true. It's not true that it doesn't help or that it can't show you or that it doesn't work like that. But it's not true that you must have it. It's not true that it has to be that way. That's not true. That's a falsehood. You don't want to believe the misinformation in the spiritual community that's really preventing you from blaming into your highest expression of a woman, your voice being in the world and really being this loud voice in the world, not caring about other people's thoughts, being criticized, all of these things that women just get smaller and get dimmer and tamp themselves down and then don't go do the big thing that they just had an idea to go do. So the square is saying, like, here's your destiny with Uranus. So all of this Uranus energy, all this higher vibration, higher mind energy, the full moon in Aquarius, Uranus's sign, and conjunct Saturn, the other ruler of Aquarius, about working from higher vibe and vibration and from 5D consciousness and love and the light instead of these spells of malignant masculinity, industrial era, just literal brainwashing of the culture, because the dark cannot work off light because they can't create light. So the dark has to work hard. So they want to spell everybody else. And that's the programming for how long, right? You have to move into this new paradigm, be the new paradigm, create the new paradigm, help others see it, wake others up, free other souls. That's what we're doing here as a divine feminine. soulpreneur in this world, and the sun and Leo about the heart and coming from love consciousness, love activation, that heart activation. The heart must be vulnerable to create something of authenticity and to contribute. It must be vulnerable. And so realizing that you're going to go through the feeling of vulnerable when you're stepping out into a big platform and bigger visibility and more being seen and speaking your voice and letting your wisdom rise up within you, because maybe as a woman you never got the chance for your voice to ever come out, to even know what's in there that you want to say, or the wisdom that you have, or not even knowing because no one was ever curious. Everyone was just like, no, you should shut up and sit down, right? And so many women don't even have the experience of somebody just being curious about what they have to say, and they're rattling off the same mundane, matrix, just everyday life stuff. But it's like you have to start somewhere to get it out. You just write the things, write all the junk, so then the good stuff can bubble up to the top. We have to speak and speak and speak and speak so that our voice comes up and comes out. We have to learn and grab information and all of this. So it's very much like Venus here is moving into loving love. So it's just like our desires coming from passion, coming from enthusiasm, coming from inspiration and light and the heart. So that's what this Venus is. And then also the North Node moved to 17 degrees before this full moon today. And so it's very much kind of moving off of that conjunction, but it'll be in that conjunction all of August, but it's moving off now of that conjunction with Uranus. And it's just this whole, commitment, this heart and spirit coming together and aligning for the creation of this new way of life, and bringing this forward, like realizing like you don't have to live like anyone that is bought into the conditioning, the brainwashing, the spells. You can live as your soul in that higher vibration, that 5D life and world, while just doing your major impact in the world and bringing other souls and waking other people up through the work that you do. And so important, so magical. And so I really encourage you to let the subconscious stuff that's bubbling up and bubbling out come out. Let that be there. Let it be okay. Release those emotions, feel those emotions, cry it out or talk it out, talking it out. There's not any air in the chart. So speaking it out is important right now, because there can be this, it can just kind of stay in. If it stays in, it's not going to release. So releasing the past stuff that's coming up, whether it's past life, past month, childhood, all of that, let that come up and out. That's part of this time right now. This moon is about your voice as a woman. So where do you need to speak up, speak out, speak louder, make the post, write the email, ask for the interview, do the thing? Like, where do you need to go ahead and you had that creative channel come through, you have that inspired action. This, sun is this inspired purpose. You had those come through. Where can you now take action on them? That's the Saturn is doing the thing and taking that aligned action. And I really recommend doing it in the moment it comes through, because when you wait, you like kind of lose that and that energy. It's always still there. It's always tap inable, but just like stop, drop, and create when it comes through. Just do it now. That's when you're inspired. That's when you're lit up. We have these notions that you're supposed to have a schedule and live life a certain time and eat a certain time and all these things, and it stops us from really just living and being fully alive from the divine inspiration from the inside out. And that's all of this Leo energy with like Venus and Leo. It's saying live from a different way. Let your deep desires be fulfilled through being called forward by that inspiration. Leo's this inspiration, this love activation. So it's like letting yourself being so inspired that it pushes you into that action and creating the desires, because you're doing the aligned action. And so the oppositions are about integrating. So we're integrating, taking action on our amazing, inspired, heart activated inspirations that flow through us and that are on purpose, the sun in Leo and this Taurus North Node for the divine feminine, bringing the divine feminine out into the world to finally speak her voice loud, all of us collectively together as women and divine feminines, because then we're going to move humanity forward and humanity is going to advance forward. Because every time women have gone out into the world, we have always advanced forward as a species all together, men, women, every person, gender, whatever it is, demographics. So it is us who move humanity forward, and how technology advances, our species advances, things grow and bloom and blossom and beauty comes about. So all people prosper when the divine feminine speaks into life, her creations, and uses her voice and supports humanity advances. So we have to realize what is at stake here for you speaking and you being visible and you being authentically your beautiful self. So I'll pull some cards. I hope this helps you on this full moon to really understand what we're doing here and what's so important. So I have voice, which is such a perfect card. And I pulled this card for this reading, and it's like, you are here to be known, so speak and be seen. And I just love that so much. And it doesn't mean that you're not going to be criticized, it doesn't mean that you're not going to be put down, but also if you're staying around those energies where that's happening, or if you're focusing on that, like, I work with clients sometimes, and it's like they're focusing on the one message of the naysayers when they start to get out there and put their messages out into the world, and their copy and their marketing and social media posting, and it's like, why are you focusing on those people? And you can also block them, and you can kick them out of your groups, and you don't have to participate with any of that. You can just say that, the people that are resonant here get to say, and the other people get to go. There's always going to be the people that want to spread darkness and negative energy. And this card is coming up a lot, and I've been speaking to women that this is really resonating, the presence of absence. And I did a powerful podcast episode yesterday called In the Presence of Absence, so it'll really help you with some of these platonic energies around that. We're going through sort of a death and manifestation situation right now. Death and manifestation, like, that's what we're in right now. And it's really beautiful because we're clearing out the dead leaves and the worms and all the stuff, so that we have this beautiful space for what is to bloom, to finally bloom, that it was always in there ready to bloom, but we had all these dead leaves and salamanders and evil energies in there that we're clearing out. So the presence of absence, of where sometimes we have to go through those sadnesses of the absence of what was before, whether it was good, bad, or whatever. And so that we may feel that, or we may feel dreams that are no longer dreams, that have expired, and to let them go and feel that grief and go through those sadnesses and speak out the words, even if it's just a voice recorder or a Marco Polo to a friend that you erase, or in a letter, or you talk to a friend or a coach or what have you. Do that, speaking it out. We have intention, and this card is coming up a lot about really setting your clear intention, and don't think you have to do something after. And that doesn't mean you won't be taking any action and just sitting around going la 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 and meditating. What it means is that allow your intention to be the vehicle that creates the creation, meaning that all you must do is intend, and what wells up inside of you is the action to take, what naturally lights you up, what naturally is fun and enthusiastic and passionate. Like, I love organizing my business and doing the books and doing all of the stuff that maybe people are like, oh, I don't want to do that part of the business, or I don't like it, or whatever. I like doing that, not every moment of every day all the time, but I just let it flow, and it naturally comes up. It's like, this would feel really good to get the taxes done right now, and this would feel really good to get this stuff taken care of. And it's usually way early and not even on time. It's early, because I'm just letting it flow and work flow instead of work hard. So setting your intention for what you want to experience, and what you're creating right now, what's going to bloom in that space that we're creating by clearing out all the dead leaves and the worms and the evil. So we have accountability, and this card's come up a lot, and that Saturn is accountability. And I'm really looking to this card as understanding the old paradigms, the old ways, that there's all of these spells and brainwashings and misunderstandings in the spiritual community. And that's a lot of what I'm here to help dispel. And the podcast, the White Goddess podcast, is up. There's 420 23 episodes at this point, I believe, and it's here to help you through all the misinformation that's out there. That it's just, like the person I was talking about that was saying that, like, we're addicted to convenience. No, we evolve and have greater technologies. Why do we need to use an outhouse when we can have indoor plumbing? Why not? Why not have a kitchen sink where you just touch it and the water comes on? Why not? I have that right now. It's amazing. um, it's just like, why wouldn't you have more conveniences? It's that people that aren't creating, or the dark that has to work hard or suck other people's energy to create, wants you to be stuck in that world, in that paradigm. But that's not true. We always advance forward. We always make more technology. We always allow ourselves to live. The goddess cultures taught us that they were living in love and happiness and play and joy and enjoying life, and humanity advanced forward. It didn't stalemate, it didn't regress, and it go back. It's only when we have war and strife and the malignant masculine that we retard as a humanity our advancement and our evolution. And so this is what we have to kind of wake up to, the many subliminal messages that we've been fed our whole lives, and deprogram those. And that's what we're doing all the time together. I'm hoping this full moon is amazing for you. And don't forget about the White Goddess podcast. That's on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify. The links below, because there's so much wealth of help and support and nourishment there for you. Yesterday's episode has been really nourishing for a lot of women, they're saying. So know that that's here for you. If you'd like to book an astrology reading, you can do that at thegoddessastrologer.com. And we have our next circle coming up. I'm changing the date to August 23rd. I just posted it, but I'm going to change it. I think it's just better to come up sooner. So our next sacred circle in the White Goddess Sisterhood is August 23rd. Our portal is up. There's going to be so much coming there. So it's so amazing to sit with women. You can sit with women and nothing happen, or you can sit women in a space like this and you feel stronger when you leave and you feel heard and seen. So very powerful space. A lot alchemizes and transforms. So come join us. I'll talk to you on the next Divine Feminine Uprising Astrology Daily. Bye.